Woo! Say it! Say it! Say it! That was too quick! Welcome back to the Jojitorium.
Well, I think remember too. Whenever we found the German Scheiser corn.
Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's what
Yeah.
That's all it is. The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face. Got right in front of you. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys. And spoiler alert, Halloween ends just the Karate Kid with stabbing. Oh, you didn't know? Yo ass better call somebody. Because Adam and Steve from Hop Nation have been bringing the best in Pittsburgh craft beer news to the thirsty masses for over 5 years. From news, notes, and neat to Spicy Boy Summer Revenge Tour to letting you know that you need to grow up and stop drinking trash, Adam and Steve have you covered. So buckle up and remember that it's always stout season with the duo from Hop Nation USA. You can find them by searching out their name on any platform that begins with pod and ends in cast, but just make sure you tell them that the boys sent you. Welcome back. This is a special one. We have an episode so special that we saved it for our favorite time of year, spooky season. We have a first-time home brewer here in the Jojitorium, Jason Mesher, friend of the podcast, frequent listener, our top fan. And you decided to dip your toes into the world of homebrew, and I'm excited to just pick apart your first beer.
Okay, sounds good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely fucking thrash it. No, I'm kidding, man.
It might be great.
Yeah. Well, no, we're excited that you took an opportunity, you brewed something up, and you saved it for us. You could have just tried it on your own and lied and said it's amazing or it's really bad or whatever you want to say, but you saved it for us. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I realize it's a very big risk bringing a first-time beer and brewer onto a public forum. So I'll face the firing squad as best I can here.
Don't worry. Our fans are very forgiving, and so are we. And I'm sure because you pay attention a lot, you did a good job. We don't have any concerns about that. And we're going to find out how that process went for you. But first, Adam, a Decaying with the Boys exclusive announcement. Go for it.
Oh, snaps, huh?
Yeah, snappies.
Yeah, so I think we discussed it briefly on the podcast last week. But Bash Brew got asked to be on a panel for the 412 Food Rescue alongside local breweries, Hop Farm and Helltown. This took place last evening, as from when we're recording. For everybody listening, I guess that would have been Thursday evening. Not that it matters too much. But we made a delicious apple cider donut and almond pastry brown ale for the event that we took there exclusively for the event. It went very well. You might have seen it on our Instagram at bash_brew. If you are interested in getting that beer, we will be bottling we have a full keg of it left. We will be bottling that next week. Reach out to me. And for a $5 donation, you can get a bottle. And all of the donations, all $5 for each bottle, will go back to the 412 Food Rescue to help them raise funds and do even more programs going forward.
Wonderful, yeah. And I can tell you, just being able to have that beer here, it's a banger. It's worth more than $5, but your donation will help other people take the opportunity to get those food that's going to be thrown away, and they get to use it for something else, repurpose it, and give it to people that are thirsty, like me, and thick, like me.
Yeah.
I like donuts. I like beer. Put them together, call it donut beer. That's what I like. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a great evening presenting for them. Dave Bracey moderated the event. And
You fancy.
yeah, it got real fancy. I was kind of knocked back a little bit. So it was a good time. And the Hop Farm and Helltown were awesome to be there with and be included with. So thanks to 412 Food Rescue for having us. Hope we can work together in the future. and let's raise some money for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you can go ahead and follow Adam at @batch_brew on all social media, so you can find out how you can get a hold of those bottles through his DMs. And remember, all $5 of that donation for every bottle goes back directly to the food. I almost said food bank, but it's not food bank; it's food rescue.
Food rescue, yes.
We're back to the food rescue.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this on Sunday, the day after this episode comes out, I will post more details on how to get a hold of this beer on Monday, the day after this post. So just keep your eyes on our Instagram.
Speaking of beers, we have a first-time homebrewer bringing a brand new beer into the Jojitorium, into the Battle Dome.
And it's round one.
Put that all together. Round one beers. Jason, what are we drinking here, man?
Okay, so the recipe we pulled off of Beer Smith is called a porter of a stout. My brother Zach and I, Mesh Mash, we are huge music fans, particularly 80s songs. So we are changing the names of these beers to fit either song lyrics or song titles. So we're calling this one Stout, Let It All Out. It's made with chocolate malt, some dark dry extract. The hops are, come on, Adam. Help me.
He's Ken Golding.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
Yep, and some Irish moss and a little bit of honey in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's hitting well. This is the first people to ever drink this.
Yeah. So you said there's chocolate malt in this, right? And there's some honey. Those are the two flavors that I get more than anything. I'm getting the chocolate right off the front.
On the nose,
yeah. And then that honey nicely rounds out the back of it. This is a good beer, Jason.
Are you kidding me? Don't blow smoke.
This is a good beer,
No,
man.
for a first try,
Yeah.
and for hearing some of your processes,
Yeah.
which were
Gonna dive into.
Oh, yeah.
which we'll just say were out of the ordinary. It's a very good beer.
Yeah, this is really good, Jason.
And in full disclosure, I had 6 damn beers, and I remembered the hops he said that were in this at the beginning of our brew day today.
That is pretty good. I like that.
That's very
Yeah.
good. We did rush it, so it's a little undercarb, but
Yeah.
that will get a little more carbs as you let them sit.
Yeah, we're probably about
Because you're just bottle
8 or 9 days.
Yeah,
since
by
we
like
start
day 14, it'll be
Yeah.
perfect. But I mean, actually, this amount of carbonation is great for a porter. So.
I was ready to say, yeah, for a darker style beer like this, you don't want it so overcarb because you start to get away from some of those like velvety, thick flavors. And I think those are represented really well here in your beer. Like I said, the chocolate malt really plays well. It's actually sticking to my tongue right now, which is awesome. Yeah, damn good beer.
Yeah, for
man.
the first time, it's very good.
Yeah,
Great chocolate.
really
I
enjoying
get the
this,
honey.
man.
Coming from you guys who are, in my opinion, Western Pennsylvania's biggest beer connoisseurs, that I will take that.
You drink a lot of it.
I will take that. As a very high compliment. Thank you both.
I think you're mixing up connoisseur with alcoholic, but we appreciate that compliment, sir.
I agree with
You did a great job here, Jason.
Thank you.
I really look forward to your next beer. Which do you want to talk about your next beer that you're going to try out before we start diving into this one?
Yeah, sure, we can. We're only doing very small 5-gallon batches, so the ingredients should be arriving today. We're going to try an English Dark Mild, probably brewing tomorrow. This will be Saturday night, so be looking for that in a couple weeks.
Cool, man. All right. So let's dive into Mesh Mash and into you, man. We want to know, what makes you tick in the world of craft beer. But first and foremost here, can people find Mesh Mash anywhere online, or is that still kind of like in process for you guys?
We're still very new. My brother and I both have our own Facebook pages, Jason Mesher and my brother Zach Mesher. We'll post some pictures and things like that here and there. You might see some of our kids and things like that in there doing other activities. But we don't quite really have yet the social media presence that Bash Brew or people like social media megastar Mike Moore has, but
Shots fired. Boo, 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 boo.
But we were hoping to get the beer made first and then worry about the social media later, just in case this tasted like garbage. So be on the lookout in the future. We'll get some. I do have a Instagram page, Drama Dad and the letter J. So
Okay.
I post some stuff on there, especially from today. I was down here helping out. So
Yeah. So dedicated social media
forthcoming.
No,
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So what kind of equipment did you use to make this particular beer?
Okay.
What'd you operate off of?
My brother got a homebrewer kit for a Christmas present 2 years ago from Northern Brewer, so we used a lot of the stuff from there. 5-gallon brew kettle, like I said. Our good friend Justin Goodfellow gave us a brewing burner stand that he had before, he used before from his home brewing days. So we're very thankful for that. So we didn't have to brew over our kitchen stove, which is always good. We got some carboys and a dry rack and some bottles and things like that from AJ Ackerman from Bad Chicken Brewing. So the home brewer community is very tight knit, and once they see a new person come in, everybody wants to help them out. So there's been a lot of support, including equipment, that have come from a lot of people.
The one thing I really liked about the homebrew community too, and it was funny because I saw at one point when you were brewing, you had a moment of self-doubt when you posted something on Facebook. You were like, I'm not quite sure. And Bobby Nacho's like, shut up, just keep doing it. Like I don't know if I should buy that. Buy it. It's right underneath. He it's almost like he's just been following you to make sure you're doing okay. And you know, you're naming some pretty heavy hitters here. Like you got Justin Goodfellow, you got Bobby Nacho, you got Ackerman, and of course Adam's on board too. And that's what we'll get into here in a minute as well. But whenever you're traversing through your first beer, you have to figure out what you want to make. So, and most people try to go either dark beer or IPA because those seem to be like the two lanes people stick with. So what made you choose these ingredients for this specific beer?
It was just something that, a style that we both like, my brother and I. We like all styles, but the first beers, especially craft beers that we were both introduced to, were darker beers. So we wanted to go darker. We saw they were relatively easier to make than the IPAs. So just for a nice little toe tipper, you know, to get into the process, we decided to go with this style.
Okay, it's more like a strategic move.
Yeah.
To kind of get yourself acclimated to the process. That's awesome, man. And again, the beer is great, so you made an awesome choice.
Thank you.
And I'm excited to see how you do the next one.
And I will say, like, not taking anything away from the beer because it is good, but a darker beer style, like a stout or a porter, for anybody else starting, is kind of a more forgiving style to brew. It's a good one to learn on. You can make a couple mistakes that you couldn't in a lighter beer, you know. And it's good to start with something that has some forgiveness because you won't get discouraged if it. Not saying you should have if this was awful or needed some tweaking. And you'll always find that you want to tweak something about it, regardless of how good everybody says it is. But a darker beer style, I find, is a more forgiving style.
The other question I want to ask you too, Adam. So this is with fresh ingredients. This is all fresh, no extracts in this, right? There's an extract in this?
Right, yeah. There's some dry extract in it.
Okay, so dry extract. So Adam, just a quick note to people, because some people hit us up and say like, "Hey, I want to go fresh, no extract," and can you still develop like good, flavorful profiles with like an all extract recipe?
Yeah, I mean, and I think Jay even had some. You had some grain in this one, right? Like some specialty grain, the chocolate.
Yes, yeah, we did some stewing and stuff like that. Yeah, all
extract can turn out fine, especially getting started. That's just the easier way to do it. As you get more and more into an all grain profile and brewing system, the cost of the initial equipment goes up. The cost of the ingredients go down. So it's just like a balance of scales and how serious you want to take it and how into this hobby you want to get. More stuff can go wrong with all grain. But there's not a flavor. If you ferment the extract right, there's not a flavor problem just because you used extract.
You hear that?
It might not be as complex as some.
Get your extracts.
It might not be as complex as like a stout without extract, or like if he just used dark dry malt extract in this, it would be a little more one note. That chocolate definitely is coming through.
Yeah.
That honey is definitely coming through. So the more and more ingredients you add, the more complex the flavor is going to be. But it also takes the difficulty level up.
Right.
You know, so the chance of failure is higher. It's good to start with an extract, learn the brewing process, then bring in new steps.
You just skipped that shit.
Yeah.
You did pretty good.
I skipped a lot of stuff. Yeah, you'll be surprised.
So the one thing I don't want to skip, though, is I want to get to know more about how you decided to get your hands around a pint of beer. So, Jason, what got you into craft beer? Was it an event, a particular beer, a moment? What was it?
I mean, well, beer in general, I guess maybe by most people's standards, I'm kind of a late bloomer. I was a sophomore at IUP. I had my first beer. I didn't really focus too much on craft beers back then. But about 8 or 9 years ago, we moved to where I live now in North Huntington, and there's a brewery right in our backyard. And my father-in-law and I went down to check it out. We really enjoyed the beers down there, and that was kind of like my gateway. That's Quinn Brewing Company in North Huntington. Then I started getting curious on social media, and Adam, I found I think he was doing the Shat Feast here at the Jojitorium. He had some bottles, so I just reached out to him. He said, "Yeah, you want to come out and try some and take some home?" So since then, since being introduced to Adam, it's opened up like a whole world of, wow, there's all these great Pittsburgh area breweries, because Adam always says, "Hey, we're going here, we're going there." So that makes people like my father-in-law and I go out and want to check them out. I know it sounds like I'm blowing smoke, but
You're making his head so fucking big.
No, I'm just laughing because it makes me sound like an alcoholic. It's like, we go to this brewery, then this brewery, then this
like,
brewery. You're not far off.
Well, but you're missing one thing. It's like, hey, dude, we're gonna go to this brewery. There's a food truck that I really like.
I'm up like 15 pounds just in barley and hops in the last.
We just did it the other day.
Year and a half.
We hung out for a Saturday, and he was like,
Poor brewery.
he's like, we're gonna go to this one, and then Blue Sparrows at this one, and then we're gonna go to this one. So you got hooked. It's like you tried heroin for the first time with this guy.
Yes.
And I can see
You could
why.
be like a travel agent for
Absolutely,
Pittsburgh
yes. Pittsburgh Brewery Tour is right there. So your first craft beer, so you said whenever you were a sophomore, you were kind of doing the fuzzy yellow stuff, getting your hands on. What was your first like real craft beer you got your hands on?
I mean, does Newcastle Brown Ale count?
Nope, doesn't. Try
Okay.
again.
It's an import, at least.
It's import.
It's an import. It's brown water.
Okay.
Try again.
Then I'll say it was probably the Horse Eye Stout at Quinn Brewing Company. It was like the first beer. So maybe psychologically that played into me picking a stout to brew. Who knows?
Yeah, laid the train tracks for you.
Right.
Nice, man.
Plus
Okay.
Newcastle, brewed in England.
Stop.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's not technically a craft beer, the Newcastle, it was definitely a step up from like the Beast Ice they were serving at a lot of the parties.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. If I have options and there's Beast in Newcastle, Papa's drinking Newcastle.
Not quite, I mean, a good import. Not quite as good as Guinness, made in Ireland.
Yeah.
My favorite.
You stir
outside
the
of the US.
pot every damn time.
I just heard that we have some very good listeners in Ireland that
We do.
wanted a shot.
We do.
I love Guinness.
We do. We love Guinness. Well,
And Shamrock Shakes. I don't know if you're...
that's not.
I
No.
don't know if they were involved in that.
No.
It is at
no.
McDonald's.
Hey, man.
Isn't that an Irish fella?
Racist.
I
No.
I do have a McDonald's question, not to get us off topic.
Yeah.
But the ice cream machine is almost always broken. Why isn't it broken when there's Shamrock Shakes?
Can I tell you something real quick? By the way, and I'm glad you did this for me, because as a thick guy, I did some investigation on this one. And I talked to people at McDonald's, because I will go there every once in a while to get a sandwich. And they tell me it's not broken. It's just really hard to clean.
Oh.
So they just, like, if you
Don't
want a
clean it
vanilla
for a
ice cream
few
cone,
days.
go fuck yourself. But when there's, like, the Shamrock Shakes are like, yeah, the machine works now because
yeah.
we're going to upcharge $6 for a milkshake that you can't drink with a straw, by the way.
Right.
You have to, like, wait for it to melt a little bit, or be a fat kid like me and just use your fingers and just get the...
Supply and demand.
That's all it really is.
Yep.
Yeah. So that spark led you to want to brew your own beer. So the style you chose, of course, we talked about it being something that you felt it was more in your wheelhouse. But during this process, first time doing anything, first time we tried this podcast, we've talked about before, we messed up. Mm-hmm. So what were some of the hiccups that you... Oh, yeah. One day we'll do a Patreon episode about that, but
Yeah.
what were some of the hiccups that you got yourself hung up on whenever you're trying your first beer?
Well, like I said, a lot of this equipment came from outside sources, friends of ours, we've never used before, like the burner. So my brother and I just thought, we'll put some water in the kettle, stick it on, fire that baby up, and we'll just wait till it gets to 155. 10, 15 minutes later, it's at 180 already. And we're like, holy crap. And we're trying to turn it down and get it down low to where it needs to be at 155. We basically wasted an hour of brewing time.
Yeah,
We could be able to turn the
trying to
whole
get it
thing
down.
completely off, remove it, and then put it back on at a low setting. So we learned our way through that.
He's having trauma flashbacks over
No,
here.
well, in all fairness, he texted me that morning and Papa did a tour of the breweries in Pittsburgh. So I was late waking up, and he's like, "We can't get it down to 155. We haven't turned all the way down." I was like, "Shut it off." I think that's all I texted because I just woke up and rolled over. I was like, "Shut it off and let it cool down."
I don't even think Zach and I can take all the credit for the beer itself because I mean, you have to go back and check the phone records. There's probably at least 50 text messages to Adam during brew day.
In the worst shape to give advice.
He's hungover. It's still he's a quarter drunk.
I was definitely still a little drunk.
I mean, he could have told me to piss off, but he was very helpful.
He always is. He comes off like he's going to be all rough. He's a sweetheart.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at him.
Big teddy bear.
He's all soft. He is. What one piece of advice did he give you that really stuck with you, though? There had to be like a point where you were like, hey, man, this is this thing that's happening. What do I do? How do I look for this? Like, what was one thing that stuck with you that you're going to use for next time?
Oh, geez, that's a tough one. I don't know. I mean, just always encouragement. He never lets me, even though I try to. Anybody who knows me, I'm mostly a self-deprecating type person.
Get the fuck out of here. I didn't even know that about you.
Yeah. Always, being a good friend and just encouraging me to, it still might turn out okay. And I think it did turn out pretty much okay.
It's all gone.
It's gone over here.
Yeah.
Delicious, man.
But yeah, it's, just what I needed to hear at the time that I needed to hear it, just to press on.
Good.
You didn't do anything majorly wrong. Almost everything can be fixed, and if it doesn't, everybody messes up.
Yeah.
Just try again next time,
It's all good, right?
Yeah, the key in homebrewing is do not get discouraged. There's so many people I meet at festivals and homebrew competitions that are like, oh yeah, I homebrewed once, and like my second batch turned out like shit, and I never did it again. Just persevere.
You gave up at the worst time.
Yeah.
When you fail, you learn so much.
In all honesty, like my first batch, you tried my very first one.
Viking
you liked
ass.
it. My second one was really good. My third one was terrible.
I remember
I
that.
had to dump it.
Yeah.
But I didn't give up. Like, it's like, all right, in 2 weeks I'll try again.
Your first beer, I lovingly called it Viking ass.
Yeah, it was a Bavarian German wheat.
But it had so much malt. It was so good.
Matt, that beer was all extract.
There you go. All extract.
With the hearing aids, I couldn't tell if you were saying Viking ass or not.
No, it's
In fact,
Viking
you
ass.
said it a second. I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds
we call it
interesting.
Viking ass.
Yeah.
Well, because also, full disclosure, he has a really hairy ass. So that's what we were calling it Viking. That hairy Scandinavian ass.
In college I did.
Yeah, it's
But now I use Manscaped.
Friend of the podcast.
friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast.
So
And our sales representative, Justin Goodfellow.
So with everything that kind of happened with you and all the advice that you were getting and what you're hearing here and you've heard from all these other great home brewers and professional brewers, what's some of the advice you'd give to somebody who's listening to us right now who's like they're kind of on the fence about wanting to do it themselves? Mm-hmm. So what would you tell them in words of encouragement or words of caution? What would you let them know?
I mean, it sounds really cliched, but you just have to do it. You go out and give it a try. Have fun. Don't be afraid to mess up, like we said. Ask for help when needed. I don't know. I really enjoyed it because my brother has a 1-year-old child. I have 2 young girls. We don't get to spend a whole lot of time together, so this was something we could do together, a brother bonding kind of experience. So something we share together and look forward to doing again. So if you have that, if you have a partner, to do it with, that makes it all the better. But don't get discouraged. Just keep trying at it.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and that's what we encourage here too. Try and fail, but I'd rather people fail and try than fail and give up.
Yeah. Can I jump on the partnership
Sure.
bandwagon? Do you want to talk about what me and you did today?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
In full disclosure, we
No.
did a brew day today. Explain why.
Nope.
You reached out
Okay.
to me to do it,
This
so
is
you
it.
explain
Yeah,
it.
talk about it, man.
It's your story. I mean, it's a story we share, but it's your story to tell.
Yeah.
Well, as you heard me mention before, my father-in-law and I, we're not just father-in-law and son-in-law. We lived in the same house together. We were buddies. We were drinking buddies. We would go out to all these craft breweries together. We would meet wonderful people like Adam, like Justin, like Nacho, and etc. We lost him in January. So it's been a rough 2022 for our whole entire family. When he 2 years ago for a Christmas present, a few years ago actually, before the pandemic, we got him a gift certificate to go down. So there was a place in Pittsburgh where you can brew your own beer Copper kettle. I was going to say golden kettle, but I knew that wasn't right. Yeah, copper kettle.
It's a metal.
It's some kind of kettle. He made a Belgian triple down there and was very proud of it. So when he would meet these brewers, and he always wanted to meet the head brewer at every brewery we went to, he'd make sure if he made friends with them, the next time he was there, he would give them a bottle of his Belgian triple that he made. There's only one left that's still on my shelf, but I asked Adam a while ago, with the anniversary of his passing coming up, if he would ever think about making a Belgian triple. I don't think you ever tried to make one in the Jojitorium before. I could be wrong.
I made a few Belgian saisons. I've actually made no Belgian anythings in the Jojitorium. I made a Belgian saison when I was still doing stovetop, basically where you're at. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was on my list, but haven't done it.
So we decided to give it a try. It was a long brew day today. One of his favorite catchphrases when he drank beers, he had a couple of them, but he would say, "This son of a brick is delicious," or "This thing is smooth as silk." So Adam and I were going back and forth. What are we going to call it? I said, well, it's going to depend on the ABV. If it's high and it knocks you on your ass, that's a son of a brick.
Yeah.
If it's smoother and it's like subtle, then we'll do smooth as silk. We're pretty sure it's going to be son of a brick.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a tripel, so we're shooting. It's going to be 9, probably a little bit over 9%.
That's a motherfucking brick.
So yeah, that will be fermenting away down here for the next 20 or so days. We plan on getting it kegged up and serving it down here for full gear.
Yeah, AEW full gear.
So if anybody wants to join us here in the Jojitorium, we'll be having a viewing party and tapping 2 versions of the Belgian. We are going to put cherries in 5 gallon in a keg of it, and we're going to leave a keg of it just as a tripel. That was Dave's version.
I think
we just want to see what it can do with some cherries on it too.
I think the cherry one was Justin Goodfellow's recommendation.
Yeah, he said throw as many cherries in it as he can.
Yeah, he's a big proponent to cherries.
He loves cherries.
Yeah, he loves
If he could rename Yellow Bridge, he would call it Cherry Bridge.
Cherry Bridge. Yeah, he told me that actually. When it's actually an interview I had from the Homebrew Fest, North Hills Homebrew Fest. He was like, "Hey man, I'm really trying to pitch this to Yellow Bridge about renaming it Cherry Bridge and changing all the colors to red instead of yellow." So I'm excited.
Yeah, I can't go on with the Goodfellow and how much he loves cherries anymore. But I thought it was a cool idea that Jason came to me with, and I'm honored to do a Belgian Tripel, which is one of Dave's favorite beers to drink and obviously make when he got the opportunity. And Dave was down here for so long, so for us to keg it up and debut it at an event down here where I met Dave. It's pretty freaking cool.
Besides Shatface that I said we had like for the first time, the happiest moment was when he was able to procure a bottle of the Four Horsemen that you brewed with the other guys.
Yeah.
And that's always a feather in his cap that he met all the Four Horsemen, and he made such a bond, especially with Adam, with Bobby, and with Justin. So
awesome.
Yeah, to have any of those 3 make a beer in his honor is like really special.
Yeah. And you know what, man? I'm really happy that you came on here to talk about that too, man. We love Dave, and it's cool to preserve his legacy. So
yeah,
I'm glad that can happen.
Thank you.
Here. Yeah.
Now I got to do a good job at fermenting it so I don't ruin this whole thing.
Uh-oh. The pressure's on Adam. But the pressure is not just on Adam, because we're moving into what's called the lightning round. You know how this works. We're a combat sports podcast. We love combat sports. Shit, a lot of our listeners love combat sports. But do you love combat sports? We're about to find out. So we've amassed a bunch of questions here, and Adam and I are going to go back and forth. Adam going first, me going second, so on and so forth, until we run out of questions or you run out of brain cells. And we'll find out at the very end, are you a combat sports fan? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Adam, go.
Have you ever stone colded 2 beers or 2 beverages at the same time before?
I have not. You've seen me try to shotgun a beer. It's pretty embarrassing.
If I could describe it in one word, pathetic.
Jason, if the CEO of Beyond Meat tried to fight you, could you take him?
I looked up. I've seen pictures of him before.
Yeah.
He's thicker than me, especially like muscular wise. Like, I mean, look at me. Look at these things. I'm not beating anybody up. So yeah, he could kick my ass.
Oh no.
He's gonna eat his nose.
He has a hunger for red blood nowadays.
Jason, how many fights do you think Jake Paul has won?
I don't know this answer. This is completely random. I'll say 6.
Trick question, 0. He pays everyone to take dives. He's never won a fight ever. Ever.
How many?
Hot take by Matt. England, I love you.
How many dives has he won?
5.
Okay.
5, yeah.
Okay.
So you're close with 6.
Yeah,
That's
you're not
pretty
bad, yeah. How many penis-shaped candies do you have to be fed before you vote for a right-wing party in Germany?
There's no amount of candy, no matter what shape it is in, that will make me vote for anybody. I'm talking to you, pollsters, in a couple of weeks. I will take all the candy because I'm not going to, turn it down. Look at me. I'll take your pencil erasers. I'll take everything. Doesn't mean I'm going to vote for your candidate, but I do like eating candy.
Please stop sending me emails to my Gmail. It is filled up.
Do you know how many...
I'm on the fence. I'm not committing to anybody.
Do you know how many bags of chips I have pinched with a Fetterman clip? They just keep coming to my house like, will you vote for John Fetterman? I'm like, do you have the potato chip clips? As I'm eating I need a potato chip clip. They're
I've
like,
gotten so many emails from this dude who's not, I looked it up, he's not even in my district. I'm like, stop it.
it's like for Southern California. Like, what the fuck?
No, he's in Pennsylvania, but he's like South Fayette. I'm like, what are you doing, dude?
Oh my god.
My turn. Daiquiri the dog sent us a DM. Woof woof, growl woof. Translated, that's fight me, ho. Are you taking this match?
This is an actual dog.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the dog that won
So
a
there's
match.
no right answer for this. So if I fight the dog, then I'm an asshole for...
Peter's gonna get you.
If I get another dog to fight for me, then I'm like Michael Vick.
Yep.
So there's
Ooh,
no
yeah,
right
bad.
answer.
Lots of
I
trouble.
will
There is a
abstain.
right answer.
No.
Take the dive.
You take
job.
the
Well, job
Psycho
to the
Mike.
dog.
You job to the dog.
I'll do the Jake Paul.
Job.
Yeah, you pay the dog to take a dive?
Yeah, I could do that. Pay him in
New
biscuits.
answer.
Yeah. Pay him in
Perfect.
biscuits. Whatever.
Pay him in biscuits, take the
Right.
dive. That's a sick answer.
Yeah.
Would you split a muffin with CM Punk?
I'll split a muffin with anybody because even though it doesn't look like I miss many muffins, I am a sharer.
Yeah? No, nice.
Yeah.
I don't not get down on nothing. I'm down for a muffin. Would you bare knuckle box Mike Tyson at his current age for $1 million or gloved up Mike Tyson back in his prime for $15 million?
I mean, you would have the protection of the gloves being on, and you get more money, but there's going to be a lot more power behind the punches. But you know what? I'm poor. I'll take more money. He can keep the gloves on.
You're going to lose your eyesight.
Just
I'll be like Homer.
Just pull a Tyrone Woodley, and as soon as you get hit once, just be like,
Go out. Oh, yeah, that's right. Take a dive.
Yeah.
Dude, he'd get on top of you and eat your face. Back then, he was on cocaine
Like-
and fucking...
like you worked for Beyond Meat.
All right, last but not least, it's the best question ever. Take 2 fictional characters, pit them together in a death match. Go.
Any kind of fiction.
You pick
Okay.
pick your hated ones, your most
Okay.
favorite ones, whatever you want to do it.
People usually go for like 2 guys. I'm going to go for 2 women
Okay.
to go against each other, and hopefully nobody survives.
Okay.
I want Flo, the progressive girl, because I can't stand any commercial.
Yeah?
How can you not go out with John Hamm? He's like trying his best. He's great looking.
You blind?
And he's dreamy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give him a chance. And Skylar White on Breaking Bad.
Boom.
Oh, I
Dude,
love
and
it.
They like what? They just meet in the ring and the ring blows up?
Maybe. Yeah.
Splitting
yeah.
deathmatch.
Awesome. There we go. Bare knuckle box each other to death. Adam, do you know who doesn't die, though?
Our sponsors. And the best podcast in the universe, Casting Views.
That's right.
Am I right?
Yeah, of course. No.
Casting Views. Casting Views. Casting Views.
That's right. Our sponsors and Casting Views. We love you, Dan and Lou, and we love our sponsors. And they love us. And when you support Casting Views and our sponsors, we get to bring you some pretty cool stuff by talking to Jason Mesher of Mesh Mash. And we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. And as you can see, we are all tatted up. So, Adam, I have to ask you, buddy, what's the number one rule about having tattoos?
Aftercare, Matt.
That's right, Aftercare. And what's the number one company for Aftercare?
I only use Lucky 13s.
I only use Lucky 13s as well. So, and all of our fans can too. So if you go to lucky13s.com and use our promo code MATA193529, you can save 25% on your entire order because
From the first line of your tattoo and beyond, Lucky 13s keeps you looking fresh.
Hey friends, this is Michael J. Mayone, host of Micro Break, the podcast for humans with the attention span of a goldfish. Join me each week as I break down what's going on in the world of entertainment, technology, and more. Micro Break is a fun and entertaining podcast that respects your time and, more importantly, your short attention span. Listen now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, or your favorite podcast app.
This is Josh Scar from Talking Smack. You're in the Jojitorium with Adam and Matt on Decaying with the Boys.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something that you like, because again, when you support our sponsors and casting views, you support us. And when you support us, bringing some pretty cool stuff, like talking to Jason Mesher of Mesh Mash. So we are in the second round. We have an incredible second half here with a bunch of beers. And we've been drinking a lot. Let's just not get it twisted. Adam and I have been going around.
A little too much. And I missed a lightning round question.
We already did the lightning round.
There was one that was sent in late from a listener.
I would never step on the toes.
Specifically for Jason.
Who the fuck knew we had him on?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
might be a family member. I don't know.
Ask away.
Whoever this is wants to know what your favorite curse word is.
Because my children may be listening to this, I'll just use one that I used often, and I'll just say shit.
You're soft as fuck.
Like my shit.
He's got those ones that like kind of fill up the toilet like you had like loose sand from the beach and you're like building a castle out of it. That's what his poops look like.
Why you got a camera in my toilet?
Don't talk about toilets around me.
Toilets don't survive.
Toilets die tonight.
Toilets die tonight. So we are in round 2, and we like to call it our Fall Battle Bracket Edition. So it is spooky season, and Jason, just like you know, and just like any other craft beer enthusiast knows, this is a time where Marzens, Fest beers, pumpkins, everything else comes out to play, right?
Get a yam in there every once in a while.
Every once in a while you do. And Adam and I have been drinking a lot, and we found 6 beers that we love in the fall season. And just like last year, when Full Pint reigned supreme with Steinmeister, we found 6 new contestants to bring to the Battle Dome, and you get to join us for this one.
Perfect. Thank you.
So we are going to pit them all together and see who reigns supreme in the fall season. But the other thing about this, too, is people get to know, hey, these are 6 incredible beers that you can go all around the area to get. We have things from up near where I live, up near, it's in Conny Creek. We have things all the way down to Hitchhiker and everything in between. So this is pretty cool, man.
All the way down to Mondays in Washington County.
Oh, my goodness.
We are running counties on this thing.
We're diverse on this one. Before, I think last year we were just Allegheny County.
I think so.
We were pretty close.
I'd have to listen back.
We're not going back that far, but the way this is going to work out is we are going to introduce the beers. We're going to crack them open. We're going to pour them out. We're going to taste them. And then guess what, guys? I found listener questions for us to answer while we try the beers out.
All right.
So thanks again to all listeners that follow us. We're at DWTB on all social media. Send your questions into our DMs and to our Gmail, DWTB@gmail.com, and we can answer them here on the show. So I guess I will introduce my beer first.
Yes.
I went to my boss, Stefan, down at Arboretum Trail, and I got the Hills Have Pumpkin, the Imperial Stout with pumpkin roll and spices. So if you want to go ahead and crack that for me and pour that out for everybody.
You got it, sir.
Arboretum Trail is down on Washington Boulevard here in Pittsburgh in Allegheny County. And if you don't know who Ben Stefan is, he's a guy who started off in a distribution-only outfit, and then he actually took over the old couch space, RIP.
Homebrewer Supreme, Ben Stefan.
Yeah, and then he decided to bring out some amazing craft beers like this one. This is a pumpkin roll stout that
I think I'm over-serving everybody, by the way.
which is fine. And the ABV, I think, is hovering around 8%.
Oh, we're all getting full 5-ounce pours.
Wonderful. So, Jason, while you have that in your hand, go take your first sip. Adam, go ahead, take your first sip, and I'm going to read you guys the first question. Name a horror movie with a perfect ending.
Me?
Yep, good, jeez.
not as big into horror movies as you folks are, but I really like the ending of Saw, the initial Saw.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The twist ending on that one, amazing. Okay, Adam.
It's probably cliche at this point, but I think The Devil's Rejects has a great final scene. They're riding into a hail of gunfire, listening to Freebird.
That's a good
Freebird's the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Very violent, very gory, with like a kind of a peaceful, wistful song over top. I'm not drunk.
Yeah, I like that one, and I like that Adam's a little hammered. I'm gonna go with. Hear me out on this one. Stick with me on this one. I'm going with Critters, the first one, the first Critters, because those little bastards, they're running around that little farm town, and the big ball of critters that eats the one guy, like rolls over and eats him. Amazing scene. But when the critters get eradicated, it made me feel good inside. I felt a catharsis. Something felt good inside of me when the critters were all eliminated. And I just bought all the Critters movies, by the way.
You had a hard week this week.
I did. But I bought all the Critters movies at Walmart. They had all like 7 or so movies. And I watched them all again. So that's why I think it's on my I like Critters.
I got since we're still sipping, I got a second one.
Okay.
Martyrs has a good ending.
Dude, what the fuck?
And don't you dare watch the American version. You watch the French version because it's the best.
Yeah.
What was the Critters movie that I believe Scott Grimes was in? He's in one of those movies. Remember Scott Grimes, redheaded kid?
Oh, yeah.
Is it Critters 2?
Yeah, I think it was the second one because he was like completely infatuated with the woman who was in the Playboy magazine who took over the. Because I mean,
Whoa, I gotta watch Critters.
Yeah, well, you remember Critters though, like that.
No, I don't. I don't know if I've ever seen Critters.
Wow.
The alien bounty hunters. Okay, then alien bounty hunters would come to Earth or wherever planet the critters take over. If you watch some of the ones that are like in different areas, but the bounty hunters show up and they're like plain vessels. Like they're just no distinction on their face or anything. And when they
Do
see
they look
something,
like humans though, or they look?
they're humanoid-esque.
So they're like Men in Black.
Yeah,
Kinda.
yeah, very much so.
Not
But
like Will Smith and
no, they're not
Tommy
slapping
Lee
Chris
Jones,
Rock.
but like the conspiracy theory. Men in
Yeah, very much so. So when they show up there, and they're like in like some BDSM leather like tunics and stuff, it's pretty awesome.
So like Hellraiser meets Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly.
Whip
Boom,
me, daddy.
boom. So they'll look at something.
Miami.
They'll look at something that's in like the canon of whatever that planet is. And this episode in Critters 2, the vessel sees a Playboy and actually takes on the body shape and type of the centerfold.
Is that
Game
called
on.
the
You know what?
main
I'm
course?
sold. I'll watch it.
The
tonight.
main course.
Is it Critters 2 the main course?
I thought you were
main...
calling the centerfold the main course.
No,
I was like,
gee whiz.
Jason.
No, kids.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, the main course. Yeah.
I don't know why. That was like right in my heyday of like HBO growing up. I think they played that all the time when I was growing up. So I watched,
It was a shock film back then. Yeah, that was a shock film. So, Adam, what beer is Arboretum Trail going up against?
So I'm matching your pumpkin with my pumpkin, and it is the Hallowed Ground from Inner Groove Brewing. It is their pumpkin ale. It is brewed and packaged by Inner Groove in Verona, PA. If you want to crack that open. They also have a tap room in Allentown, PA. Allentown, Pittsburgh, PA, the neighborhood, not the town on the east side of this state. So go check out both of their locations. Their hours are posted on their website. I believe they put their food truck schedules up on Instagram. So check them out. Inner Groove, Pittsburgh. And by the look, I did not know by the can, but I did know by experience last year. Not a stout. It's more of a traditional ale. Kind of amber to almost orange in color. Might be a lot of pumpkin in there.
Super pumpkin.
Oh my gosh, the smell is crazy.
Yeah, super pumpkin. Yeah, this is awesome. I like this a lot.
Wow. Yeah.
So you know what else I like? Questions from our listeners. Have you ever obsessed about something? It could be anything. Something that you found yourself like for a couple weeks or a month or even now. Like you saw it, you liked it, and now it's all you ever do.
I mean, for me, it's certain musicians, bands. You know, I'll travel like Adam does to go see bands and things like that.
What's the furthest you've traveled for a band?
So far, I've gone to the center of Indiana, the state, like Noblesville, Indiana. But next year, if my wife lets me, please, I get to go to the Gorge in Washington, the other side.
Yeah.
Washington State, the Gorge, to see a
Nice.
concert out there.
Nice.
Labor Day weekend.
What band is that?
I don't want to say.
It's Dave Matthews Band, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Yeah, I knew it. You love that shit.
I
Enjoy
do.
your trip. I hope they don't poop on you.
Adam,
Fuck them.
what do you obsess over?
Beer,
Okay.
specifically beer I brew, I obsess because I think it's going to be terrible.
Okay.
Music and serial killers.
Yeah, I can
Makes
see
me sound
that.
like a soccer mom.
Well, yeah, you do. Do you also hold your coffee cup with two hands?
No, I don't watch like the freaking ID channel bullshit. I
Women
like
who kill.
no, I like the true blue. Like read about them.
Yeah.
Read a couple books. God damn it. And watch like the biography movies and stuff like that.
I like that.
ID channel's fucking shit.
ID channel.
Too many goddamn commercials, and they have a lot
That's
of
what I'm
lame-
saying. A half an hour thing about a serial killer, and then you have a commercial set every 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get to watch anything. You're just watching commercials. I want Tide Pods all of a sudden.
No, my favorite place to go from not reading about serial killers but listening to them. Last podcast on the left.
Absolutely.
They cover it with a great sense of humor, which maybe isn't the most polite way to cover it, but
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
The way they covered MK Ultra still makes me giggle.
Yeah.
Every day.
The Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Their Jeffrey Dahmer coverage was great. Henry Lee Lucas.
Yeah.
That whole. I think there's a 3-part of Henry Lee Lucas that's pretty freaking good too.
Big shout out to our friends of the podcast too, Sugar Coated Murder.
They also
They cover
some great serial killers.
cover some great stuff, and they bake a lot of stuff, which is awesome for us thick dudes.
Yeah, because I can't do that. It just makes me hungry.
I eat while I'm baking.
Just send me to my local Dunkin' Donuts. that's how trash I am.
I've seen a lot of their ads, during watching your podcast that I always watch, and I'm intrigued. One of these days I'm going to try it.
Karen and Ann do incredible work. They're doing some things I can't talk about right now, but there are some big things going on for that podcast soon, and I can't wait for it to break. They are the next My Favorite Murder, and they just don't know it yet.
Oh, wow.
They're fantastic. I love Karen and Ann.
As long as they're not that one I dislike. Swords and Scales or whatever.
That's a tough one.
I can't stand
It's a tough
it.
one to get through.
It's so pretentious.
Yeah. The thing I obsess about.
But not sugar-coated murder.
No.
They're freaking great.
They're awesome. The thing I obsess about, oddly enough, Harry's razors. I can't use anything else on my face other than Harry's products. So I have like a hair. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
I have some. I can't get the fit like the contours of my 75 chins.
Yeah. Same. Likewise.
Right.
I have 74. I'm thinner than you.
Okay.
But
And you know it.
yeah, and I know it. But I have to use those products. I can't go anywhere else for my shaving accoutrement.
Does Adam grow facial hair?
He does it right
No.
here. He gets this thing.
No, I do get like a neck beard. But we've never discussed this before. And I also use Harry's. We've never literally discussed this before, but yeah.
Yeah, Harry's is the shit, man. Great product. Sponsor us.
Will you
Sponsor us.
grow a mustache for November, Adam?
I can.
You should.
That sounds good.
Against my wife's best wishes. I
That'd be
will.
fantastic. Listeners, tell them.
It's bad. It's like Jonathan Davis in 1995.
Ooh, that's rough.
It's bad.
That's rough. Adam, you got to finish the rest of that while I ask Jason. Jason, you've tried Arboretum Trails, the Hills Have Pumpkins, and you also have tried Inner Grooves, the Hallowed Ground Pumpkin Ale. If you had to eliminate one after tasting them, which one would it be? And remember, too, eliminating them does not mean that they're bad.
Correct.
They are both friends of the podcast and have been on before, though, so no
correct.
pressure.
And they're both very wonderful people. I've talked with both of them in
Absolutely.
social aspects, and I like them both dearly. But if we're going based truly on pumpkin, I probably have to lean more towards Inner Groove.
Okay.
That's my
See,
vote.
here. He said, fuck you, Ben.
I would never say that to Ben. Ben, you know me. I love you. You know that.
So you're going to go Inner Groove.
For this vote, I will vote Inner Groove.
One vote for Inner Groove. Adam, who you going between?
Oh, you're going to go ahead and go third, huh? Be the good guy?
Of course.
I think these are two very different pumpkin beers
Very
for
much
two
so.
very
Right.
different styles of people. If you were going for the sweet pastry pumpkin flavor, Inner Groove would be my pick. However, I am a stout guy.
We noticed.
So as good as the inner groove, yeah, I am a stout guy. I drink the stouts. It makes me stout. It all goes full circle. So I do love the inner groove. But if you're looking for like sweet pumpkin pastry beer, boom, inner groove, go for it.
Yeah.
But my pick to move forward will be the Arboretum Trail. Was it the Hills Have Pumpkin? The Hills Have Pumpkin. See, I even know because I already drank a 4-pack of this in the secret time.
So did I.
Yeah, I'm a big stout fan, so I got to pick that.
So I understand why
It's
you
almost as good as Shat-Faced. That is shade, Ben.
I understand why you picked Inner Groove, honestly, because it is a sweeter pumpkin, and I do enjoy it. I would imagine like rimming my glass with a little bit of the pumpkin spice to
Honestly,
have.
not to interrupt, but before you
Yeah.
pick yours, if you 50-50 these, it might be amazing.
Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
It
guys
would be like it might blend well.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem, though. You got to save a little bit of that Arboretum Trail because it's moving on. I'm going to pick Arboretum Trail, the Hills Have Pumpkin, only because, again, much like you've assessed with Adam, I am also a stout guy. I love both of these beers dearly. I could drink either one of them. But when it comes to that campfire, I want the stout and that roasty flavor that kind of comes along with that.
Oh, yeah.
Not to say the Inner Groove one is bad. I love Hallowed Ground. I've had 4-packs of it. But for right now, Arboretum Trail is going to move forward.
No argument for me.
And for all the listeners, again, both of these great representations of pumpkins, pumpkin beers. Go get them. I think they're both.
The hell with Pumpkin from Southern Tier. Go get these.
I have not
Gone.
checked, but I think they are both still available.
They are still available. So what I did, Adam.
Grab them. Verona,
Yeah.
Allentown for Inner Groove, Allentown, Pittsburgh again. And then out to Larimer, out by the zoo, Washington Boulevard for Arboretum.
What I did was I checked on all these beers, and they're all still available.
No, they're not.
Would the one go out?
This one's gone.
Oh, no. I'm a liar. So all but one of them.
Oh, man.
And you'll find out which one that is here momentarily.
There is one. The last one we feature is gone. Sorry.
It's okay. We get to have it. You don't. Nana boo boo.
Don't hate us.
So, Adam, we're going to move on to a competition here where I think it's going to be the out-of-county battle.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the outer counties here.
Yeah. So, up by me, I have a wonderful brewery called Conny Creek, and they came out with their Oktoberfest. This is a wonderful little Oktoberfest. He does the little 12-ounce cans that are nice, sweet, and compact. You can get mixed Forskies at all times at Conny Creek. So if you like different beers, they can mix and match you as 6, which is really nice. But this one's clocking in at 5.7%, and of course, it's their German-style lager. And Adam, you go crack that and go and pour that for everybody.
Yeah.
You can find Conny Creek online, Facebook and Instagram, Conny Creek Brewing, and they actually have 2 tap rooms. There's one in Lower Burl, which is kind of out there a little bit. The other one's in Saxonburg. It's actually in a Sprankles. So when you go to the
favorite,
I know it's great. So you can actually. And the way they worked it out is you can go to Sprankles, go to Conny Creek, get a pint, and then walk around, do your shopping, and then come back and drop your glass off. So what better way to shop for your groceries than with a little bit of Conny Creek?
So Sprankles is a grocery store?
Much akin to like a shop and save.
Okay.
Very much so. Conny Creek has been a staple for me when I moved out that way. That was the one brewery that opened up about a year after I moved up to where I was. And they did a great job of bringing more traditional styles to their tap room.
Okay.
He usually has about 10 rotating at any time.
Oh, wow.
And like I said, mixed 4-packs or mixed 6-packs, I should say. Great job. Thank you, Adam.
you got it, brother.
Yeah. So go ahead, you guys. Go ahead, take your first sips while I continue to ask you guys some questions here.
Great color on this, just from initial
Great amber color.
viewing.
So, you have to pick a cinematic universe to live in. Which one is it? Jason.
Let's make Adam answer first, because
Okay.
when I answer, he's going to be pissed at me.
I like this. Yeah.
I already kind of know what you're doing. I don't know if it counts, so I do have a backup. But I'm
Okay.
going with like the Tarantino universe. If I could go like
counts.
Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs,
Four
what
Rooms.
was it, True Romance, and
Yeah. What's the
and
appeal?
Oh, it's just badass. It's
You
so
just like-
fucking fucked up and kinky. Yeah,
You like that?
Yeah.
Completely out of order.
I mean,
and
if you
not-
want my backup one, I can give it. But I think it's
Well-
part. I think it's a small part of a bigger universe that I hate.
Let's come back to that.
All right.
Save that. Jason,
Star Wars.
why? Sounds dangerous.
Because it sucks.
Because it's what I've known since I've grown up. I don't care how old I am. It's something that my oldest daughter and I share. A new Star Wars movie comes out. We're going the opening weekend. I've been a fan since I was a kid. I'll never stop being a fan. I don't care how old I am or how much Adam says it sucks. I will stick with Star Wars.
I do like that. However, if Order 66 gets called on you, could you go into the daycare with the lightsaber?
I mean, look at me. I don't know. Am I? What am I gonna like?
Mr. Pink's
A
gonna
kid
take you
could
out.
probably kick. A kid could probably kick my ass, especially a Jedi kid.
Well, yeah, dude, they're insane.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like Order 66. That
You know what's cool though?
Yeah.
Take yourself out of that one. Just be like, I'm gonna drive the AT-AT. Like I don't even want like a Jedi
best.
roll. I just
Yeah.
want to like just like start blasting people out.
I've seen people who have AT-ATs for their mailbox, and I'm envious.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So, as I think about what cinematic universe I want to live in, there's a bunch of different questions going on. Like, what can I survive in, or what can I have the most fun in? And the one I want to live in, hear me out here, I want to live in the John Wick universe.
Yeah, because you got the hair.
Exactly. But no, check this out.
And you love doggos.
I do. But check this out. I don't want to be an assassin. I just want to work at the Continental. Do you see those fucking parties they throw in those movies? Dude, people are bumping. Like, I just want to I'll be like a bar back.
Oh, no.
That'd be sick as
I
fuck.
think you just woke up something bad in me.
Did I?
Yeah, now I got two universes.
Oh, God.
Did you ever see this conspiracy theory that John Wick is what would happen if Neo took the other pill in the Matrix?
I did see that, and I think it's a fantastic conspiracy theory. And
Really?
I I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because they chose him because he had the skill set already. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, if you don't want to join the revolution, we're just going to make you part of the revolution in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it. It was a creepypasta at one point too on Reddit that I read. It was amazing. I feel like that. Yeah. So what else do you have here?
So now I got two.
Yeah.
One is the X-Men. I would love to be a mutant.
What fucking power would you have?
But I think that's a small part of the larger Marvel universe that I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, I don't know. What power could kill most of the other superheroes?
So you want to be like?
I just want the mutants and myself hanging out.
Oh.
You know, me and Rogue by the pool, chilling.
You only want close to Rogue.
No, Storm is cool.
This is where we get to every time.
Jean
I mean,
Grey-
he went from
Jean Grey can
Tarantino
go
to
away.
X-Men. I mean, that's a
Yeah.
Listen, he only wants mutant booty. That's all it really is. It comes down to
Superpower. I want. What's superpower on?
what was the one that Anna Paquin played?
That was Rogue.
It was Rogue.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
that's if you want to talk about kryptonite.
I
Right
want to
there.
I want to be really, really small. No, I don't want to be the Ant-Man.
Like-
I want to be really, really big.
That'd be sick. Yeah.
Like Bigfoot Benjamin was.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I don't know what a cool mutant thing was. Like, they took a lot of them.
Well, while you think about it, how about we crack open this Mondays
Yeah.
because the
Oh,
competition.
but to say my other one, since
Yeah.
you brought up John Wick universe.
Yes.
I would also like to be in the Hostile universe.
Ooh, yeah.
part of the
because you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, as part of the Elite Hunting Club.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
go to therapy. Go to
Whoa,
therapy.
maybe that's my superpower.
No, it's not. That's just called psychopathy.
I'm German. That's my
No,
superpower.
you're a psychopath. You have a resting heart rate of 57 and you like black coffee and you want to kill people.
Come to my hostel.
Talk about the goddamn beer.
Sorry to lean into it this way, Sam. But I brought something from Washington County. It's Monday's Brewing's Marzen. It's an Oktoberfest he recently made. They are located in McMurray, PA, down between Peters Township and Canonsburg, basically, right off of Route 19. Go check them out. One of my favorite places to go to. They are open every day of the week except Wednesday, and I think that's changing soon, actually. I think they will be open Wednesdays soon, if not by the time you're hearing this.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah, great place to grab it. You can get crowlers of everything they have on tap, and they have select cans available
I always feel
in
bad.
16-ounce cans.
I live so far out in, like, that part of town, North Huntington, that, like, to go to one of these breweries, like, it's a day trip for me, you know? I need to do it more often, you know, but, yeah, I have some good ones in my area.
You gotta find a leg. That's all it is. You gotta like find like a couple in a row that you can go to. Yeah,
These ones are very close.
They are very, very close. Very identical. You know what else is identical? Questions from our listeners. If you had to play a game show to save your life, what would it be? Jason.
It would be Wheel of Fortune. 100,000%.
Dear God, why?
Because I'm fantastic
He
at it.
loves Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak is 9% plastic.
Pat Sajak, by the way, season ticket holder for the Washington Capitals. I fucking hate that show.
Piece of shit.
But he is a friend of the podcast.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not. No, he's not. No, Alex
wait.
Trebek was.
I'm sorry, that's Vanna.
Alex
Vanna White,
Trebek.
friend of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When she presents stuff, I'm like, Vanna, you go, girl. And Pat
Biggest-
talks, I'm like, shut up.
And, I mean, it kind of leads into my answer. Biggest fan of our podcast. Biggest friend of the podcast. Post-mortem, sadly. Roddy from The Price is Right. I'm going on The Price is Right.
Yeah. Price is
Me
right.
and you have had a lot of practice together with it, and
that's
ever
right.
since COVID, I watch at least the first half of it on my lunch break.
Yeah, it's a
So
great show.
I've got a lot of practice.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like The Price is
It
Right.
all comes down to the wheel, though.
I have a
It's like
Price
the
is
wheel
Right.
for my soul.
Are you trying to make this like an ethereal thing?
No, I could win it.
I have a quick Price is Right question.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least back in the Bob Barker days.
That's what I'm most familiar with. So.
Hole in one, right? The putting game.
Yeah.
People watched it a billion times. Why is everybody so surprised when they miss the putt? And they go, but wait, it's hole in one.
Hole
Or
in
two. Like,
Yeah.
they always give them a
still do
second
that.
chance. And they're like, oh, I'm so
Because
surprised.
a lot of people that they pick to be on the show are dullards. And I would do much better.
You surprise people, except for the guy from Killswitch Engage when he played. He was like, "I know this game inside and out." That's why you get metalheads to play your games because
For you,
they're-
Adam.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
that's what
they
he's
just
talking
like
about.
they just watch.
He won like
religious...
2 cars.
Dude, he wouldn't stop. He basically funded the whole tour for the Lantern album. So if I had to pick a game show to save my life, I'm gonna pick Deal or No Deal because I hate myself.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you're gonna die.
No.
But you get to look at a lot of pretty ladies on your way out.
Well, it's also too reading body language because I think there's a part of them that they know what case they have.
They don't
Okay.
know.
I think they do.
They don't know.
I think they do.
They barely know their age and height. They don't know what's in the case.
They have to be 18-year-olds or plus because that's how you get on the show. And then they have to know at least how to read because they have to sign a contract.
And then some of them marry British royalty.
They do.
When I say some of them, one of them.
One. How many? There was like probably 300 of them.
She married the
Struck gold.
She married the best one. I like him the best.
Struck gold. Yeah.
I don't remember if that's Harry or the other one.
Well,
I don't know their names.
that
Casting views, help me out.
Yeah, like Dan.
Which
Lou,
one do I like?
throw it out there for us? But
I like the one that married the Deal or No Deal girl.
I think Deal or No Deal. If I could read some body language and kind of get a sense of, like,
You might be
who-
good at that.
I think I am.
Like works into your profession.
A little bit, yeah.
Have you ever actually tried out for a show or anything?
Yeah, I did. I did actually. Yeah.
I took the Jeopardy quiz.
Yeah. It's.
I'm not getting on. Jeopardy's my favorite one to watch.
So,
But I'm kind
My
of.
brother used to play drinking.
I'm a lot like Corey Cunningham, so I think the best I can do is Price is Right.
do you want to know how bad this was for me?
What show was it?
So way back, I tried out for Hometown High Q.
Okay.
Whenever
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was-
yeah.
high
no,
school.
but you were from Carmichael.
I was, and they were like, we had some really smart kids, and they were like, hey Matt, you go try. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good idea. And for those who don't know what Hometown High Q is, it's a show on like KDKA. Is it KDKA?
It's a local Pittsburgh station.
Yeah, where like really intelligent kids pit against each other to
My name's
answer.
Matt. I play the drums.
And that was it. right there. They were like, all right, so Matt, we're gonna go on to a question about math. I was like, fuck. Like, yeah, they put up some like geometry question. I was like, I know a squared, b squared, c squared, and that's it.
That's the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, and that's all I knew. So they were like, who put you on the show? I was
be a
like,
math professor,
I was like, oh, my teacher put me on. They were like, get your teacher out of here.
Who is this person?
You ruined the show.
I ruined the show.
Yeah, you didn't even know No Way Out was a movie on Tubi, you idiot.
I didn't. Shout out to Hop Nation on
Hop
that one.
Nation, read it.
So-
Listen to it 2 weeks ago.
Shout out to some beers here, though. We have Conny Creek going against Mondays.
Change
We
the
have
subject
to
real
eliminate-
quick because he lost.
I lost. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Your sweater one, though.
Jason, you're doing a great job going first here. So you have Conny Creek going against Mondays. Who are you taking? It's a close call here.
It's very close. Yeah, they're both very, very good representations of what Oktoberfest beers I feel should be. I'm probably going to lean towards Mondays a little more.
Okay.
Just a little more flavor in there, I think, than Conny Creek had. That's my vote.
Okay, cool. So Conny Creek out for Jason. Adam.
I'm going to have to agree with Jason. I do like the Conny Creek. It's great. It's a little sweet. And Mondays has a little more body, a little more bitterness. So, sorry I'm not bringing it down to a tiebreaker.
That's okay.
But Mondays also collabed with me, so
Absolutely.
I'm biased.
Yeah, I will. No worries. I'll bolster Conny Creek
But
up.
Lee, you can collab with me.
I'll bolster Conny Creek up. This is a serviceable beer. It's really
No,
good.
it's really good.
It's really good, but
They're just very, very close.
they're very close. And I think where Mondays edges out Conny Creek is there's that little bit of extra touch of that burnt caramel that I look for.
Yeah, but you're a multi guy, so like the Conny hits your multi center where this is a little drier.
And that's why
that's the difference. There,
I'm digging that. It's I'm kind of going outside of my comfort zone when it comes to that. The dryness of that Marzin's really hitting me tight.
Cool. That's why when I brought it down, I thought it was a fest beer, like a traditional
Yeah,
fest beer.
it hits like a
first.
fest beer. Yeah,
But the color of it, and it is a little sweeter than a fest beer. So yeah, it's definitely they're both Marzen,
Absolutely.
right?
I mean, in the interest of fair play, I do have to say Mike Moore offered me free Blink-182 tickets if I vote for Mondays.
I'm glad that you took that. because
Corrupt.
Those tickets are like $500 right now. My goodness. So speaking of $500, we have some $500 breweries coming into play here. We have some top of the chain.
For God's sakes, next year can we bring in some out of state breweries?
We will.
so I
we
can
will.
just shit on them.
Yeah.
because like
I'll bring some New Jersey stuff. I'll get Vince to give me some
Oh,
New
we'll
Jersey
shit
stuff.
on those.
yeah, we'll
hard.
shit on this one. You literally brought like 6 of my favorite breweries in here.
And it's a murderer's row here. We're picking our favorites, but there's no beer here
No.
that supersedes the other. But we are going down to 2 of our favorite breweries in the area. We have Cellar Works and Hitchhiker. I'm going to introduce Cellar Works first, of course, because this is up by my neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's one of your hometown heroes.
So Cellar Works here. This is their Wandrin. I got it here in a beautiful glass crowler. This is wonderful.
A nice swing top there.
I love this thing. This is beautiful. So this is I think it's 5.5%.
Okay.
It is a Marzen beer. It's supposed to have very forward notes of dry caramel burnt notes, which is what I like a lot. And I've had several pints. I love this beer a lot. So go ahead, Adam, while you're pouring that beer for everybody else, I'm going to let you know where you can find Cellar Works. They are up in the Sarver area.
Carbonated very well, by the way.
Very well,
that
yeah.
gave a good spritz on the
Great
back.
service up there, man. They knew what they were doing. I told them it was for a podcast, and they're like, let me take care of this. So Cellar Works is up in Sarver, PA. They're on a trail where you can go to like Recon Brewing if you keep going up that way. It's a great area. Cellar Works is predominantly known for stouts, and their adjunct beers, the Puffed series, is really big for them. This beer, though, they went back to more traditional German-style beer, and I gotta say, I've had a few pints of it. This is why I brought it. I think it's a banger, man.
Can I ask when you got this filled?
That was last week.
No way.
It was.
It's very well. I mean, look at the head we're getting on these. Like,
So
very well carbonated.
we are.
It popped off the break. Like I
Yeah.
thought you might have got it like yesterday or 2 days ago.
No, we recorded last
No.
Saturday, and when I got home, I grabbed that beer.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm going to seal that right back up because we're going to finish this after the podcast.
I dropped off the Shat-Faced Pumpkin Ale to the head brewer of Cellar Works. Shout out, Cellar Works. And I grabbed this beer. So as you guys are taking your first sips, I have to ask you, what's the funniest thing you've seen a stranger do in public? Jason.
I mean, it's kind of rude, but I like watching people fall on ice. I'll even look up on YouTube videos of people fall on ice. Some of that's just too crazy.
You just ice down to the sidewalk in front of your house. And
well, my brother, I mean, I never saw this, but his driveway is like super steep, and he puts his garbage can at the bottom. He said one time he just like crouched down and just slid all the way down.
His
does he have a Ring doorbell? Could you see that?
Adam.
I thought long and hard to not include this person. I don't know if I should say a name. I don't know what.
Do it.
I don't know if he's looking.
Dox him.
He might be looking for jobs right now. But Matt, you were there at the casino during my bachelor party.
God, yeah.
It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in public. He had a couple beers. He wasn't driving. It was fine.
Yeah, we were staying at a hotel adjacent to the casino.
But he not only was very vocal about how he wanted to perform on some slot machines, but started pumping up the people next to him, and it was incredible.
One of my favorite parts was there was a lady who was not doing well at a slot machine. He walked up next to her, and he went and smelled the slot machine. He goes, "This one's a winner." He puts his card in.
He literally said, "You know what this one smells like? Money."
Puts his card in and hits for $200.
What?
The lady was like, "What the fuck?" And she like looked at him. He's like, "You gotta know when to cash out." And he hits the fucking cash out button, takes his card out, and she shifted over. So he came back to it. He's like, he smells the one she was on. He goes, "You left this one too early." He puts his card in, hits it, goes for $25. He's like, "Gotta know when to cash out." Hits the fucking button.
But I hate people like that.
Yeah.
I'll go to the casino. I'm like,
He was
win
being an ass, but it was funny for all of us to watch from a distance.
I die. My stomach hurt from laughing.
my favorite thing was he went up to right next to a different person. He was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he was very sincere, like acting like he wasn't drunk. Put his card in. First spin he hit for like 68 cents. And he was like, "Woo! I can pay child support for 3 of my 5 kids."
Yup. And he's like, "You gotta know when to cash out."
He hit the button and cashed out with 68 cents.
Oh,
It was a great night.
It was a good time, man, for sure.
Yeah, it was probably the hardest I laughed at.
I was dying, man. You also broke your knuckles that night.
Yeah, it was after that. I had too good of a time.
Yeah, he tried to RKO somebody, and he like started to like.
We'll just call him somebody because he's a piece of shit.
He was in the wedding and he's gone. If Adam fucks up and gets married a third time, he's not in the wedding. No. So Adam, we have to have a rival against Cellar Works. You brought something in. What do we got?
Yeah, I brought my heavy hitter from the first pour event this year for the Three Rivers Craft Beer Week. We got the Hitchhiker Oktoberfest. This is a Marzen brewed with Pilsner, Vienna, and Munich malts, and fermented with the traditional October yeast strain. So this is going back to Germany as well, kind of similar to the Cellar Works you brought. I'm trying to compete with you as best I can.
And I can tell you right now, just with the color of it, it's the color of it's already.
It's a very different color. It's a lighter color than the Cellar Works offering.
It truly is. Jason, go ahead and take your first sip. Adam, take your first sip. And I'm going to ask you guys, have you ever been kicked out of a public place? Adam goes first. Because I know.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my fucking brain he's been booted out of something.
Fucking shitty bar in Baltimore once.
Yeah,
the
let's
mall.
hear about this shit.
The mall.
Baltimore, you had to do some reckless shit.
I don't even remember what happened. We went to I went to a concert there in like 2012. And I tried to go to a nightclub after. They let everybody I was with in and didn't let me in.
What the? What, how are you presenting?
I called the bouncer a jackass. I handed him my ID. I didn't.
That's all
say
you called
anything.
him?
Yeah.
That's pretty tame.
Oh, well, it was literally like, well, I'm here with 3 other ladies, so apparently, yeah, you're just keeping me out because I mean, I was drunk, but we were
Let
Ubering.
them in. Like,
Yeah. So like, fuck you. I think I said, fuck you, jackass.
oh, that'll do it then.
That didn't help.
They'll get you far.
Didn't
That'll
help.
get you
Nope,
going,
They get me far at all. I went to a different bar.
Without the people you were with?
No, they came back.
Oh,
We went to a different
good
bar.
friends.
Yeah.
Good friends.
Well, they didn't want to go into a... I was the one that lived there. Like, I was in D.C. at the time, so I was like showing them around, but being the one dude was
That's tough.
not great.
When you're the one guy in a group of people, you kind of have like these expectations put on you that are kind of, like...
And we were all drunk. But
Yeah.
we were Ubering around Baltimore.
Yeah,
like, we
yeah.
were staying in Baltimore for the night, so we were all fine.
Yeah.
But
still, like, even you still have like that, like, oh, things go whatever. Like,
and then I got kicked out of
gotta-
the South Hills Village Mall when I was in high school because I went up the downside of the elevator.
That sounds about
And the
right.
security guard was a stupid fucking asshole.
You still sound bitter about it.
He called my parents. It's before I could drive.
Jason, what about you?
Did they detain you or just kick you out?
No, they just like sat with me on the curb till my mom answered the phone.
And then they called,
sadder.
Yeah, it was stupid as shit.
I was just wondering. They
It's like,
called
come
your
on, I was
parents?
just trying to get back up to Paxton to get some sweet board shorts, bro.
What about you, Jason?
I have been kicked out somewhere before.
Okay.
We were in a bar in Key West. A bunch of buddies of mine and myself. We were on a late fall trip. We worked together up here. Some stranger, I got up to go to the restroom or something. Some stranger took my seat. I came back. I've had a few drinks at this point, and
Bro up, motherfucker.
yeah, I'm like, I was sitting here,
Kick me over
and
the
the guy
Mulligan.
went to like step to me, and like I used to,
Step to you?
I used to be,
Are you from New Jersey?
yes,
Yeah.
believe it or not, for my like robust physique here, I used to be in semi-law enforcement, but a lot of the guys I was with for this trip were in actual law enforcement for real. So they all just like stood up behind me, and the guy's like, wow. And then the guy came over and goes, yeah, you guys need to leave. We don't need any kind of trouble here. So somebody stealing my seat almost caused a fight, which caused us to get kicked out.
Adam, we have to figure out who's winning here between Cellar Works and Hitchhiker. Now, I'm going to let Jason go first.
Oh, man.
Because I like putting pressure on you.
I noticed.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this a lot.
Damn it.
So, what I want you to do, Jason, for me, is pick which one that you want to have the hate come to you more than the other. Because we do have a decent reach. They're going to hear this, and you're going to decide who you don't like.
I'm not used to being the bad guy unless we're talking about disciplining my kids, and then
Yeah.
I'm bad cop.
These are like your 2 kids right now, and you got to pick your favorite. It's tough. I know.
Again, like we've talked about all these beers, and I'm not just blowing smoke. Every single one of these, you can crack open, pour it in your glass, and you're going to have an enjoyable evening drinking it.
Absolutely.
They're all fantastic.
But which one do you hate more than the other?
I like Hitchhiker more than the other.
Okay. So
I'll lean towards Hitchhiker.
so Cellar Works could burn down. Is that what? I'm
Your
joking.
words. Your words.
So you'd pick Hitchhiker.
Yes.
What's the flavor point that you would pick for Hitchhiker? Is it more flavor, or is it a different kind of profile for you?
It's a little bit bolder for me
Okay.
than the Cellar Works one is. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Okay.
The untrained palate.
Okay.
But I'll
That's fair.
go the expert.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree that there is a bolder taste in the Hitchhiker.
Yeah.
And in some way, like, bolder than when I had it on draft. I brought this
Yeah.
because I literally brought this in as my heavy favorite. Having it at first pour. But drinking them side by side, I actually am voting for the Cellar Works. It's a little bit drier and a little bit lighter bodied, and I like it.
Yeah.
Weird enough, I totally thought I was gonna.
Who's on the island by himself?
I thought no. I thought I was gonna put Hitchhiker through to the final.
guess.
To be
Yeah.
honest,
I thought you were too, because when you brought that beer out, you were like, "Here's my shit." Like you almost brought like it was like Conor McGregor coming up for the first time. Like here comes my dude.
and it still is. But the Cellar Works is very impressive.
Yes, very much
Especially
so.
after sitting for a week.
A week.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I'm going to go ahead, and I'm also going to go with Cellar Works. I do like Cellar Works a lot. Not to go against you, Jason, make you contrarian.
Again.
I understand what you're doing.
No, and it's true. This is a bolder
Yes.
Marzen flavor.
But the dryness of the
dryness.
Cellar Works is what sells me.
It's interesting, the dryness.
So I am going to go ahead and put Cellar Works over top of Hitchhiker, which is a surprise. A very big surprise here. So, guys, we have a very unique opportunity here where we have a stout pumpkin in Arboretum Trail going against Monday's Marzen and Cellar Works Marzen. We have to pick a favorite. We have to pick a king of the fall season.
Can we say, I will acknowledge.
Yes.
I will acknowledge you, my travel chief. You brought 2 of your beers made it to the finals, and only one of mine did.
I'm pretty happy
So
about
good
that.
job.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. What we could do, if you want, we could take a quick break, have a little nip of each one, and figure it out and come back. If you'd like.
Come back with one question.
One question and a decision.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that idea.
So we'll see you in one moment. So we're back. We poured out the beers for ourselves with Arboretum Trail, Mondays, and Cellar Works. And I'm going to start with Jason. Jason, final vote, 3-way dance of death here. Who are you putting your name on?
Even though I didn't vote for them in the opening round, now that we narrow down to our finalists here, I'm going to have to cast a vote for Cellar Works.
Okay. Adam.
I'm still a stout boy.
Yeah.
I got to vote for Arboretum.
I like
Cellar
that.
Works very, very close.
And I'm glad you said that because my vote goes for Cellar Works. Very complex flavor profile for
and Monday's very good
for
as young as they are.
Yes.
Cellar Works great, but between Cellar Works and Monday is very close.
Yes, very much so.
The roast is king. I will accept yours. It's not. None of them were bad beers.
No,
So I will accept the.
This was my favorite battle of Fall Fest beers of all time, because we had 6 absolute banger beers. So again, we have Hitchhiker, Mondays, Conny Creek, Inner Groove, Arboretum Trail, Cellar Works. All of these fall beers are incredible. But in the Jojitorium today, Cellar Works reigns supreme.
You can't go wrong with any of them.
None of them.
You know which one was the worst?
Which one?
I had a Jenny Oktoberfest right before this started.
I was afraid he was going to say mine.
So we are into the last part of this podcast. Jason, you've been a phenomenal guest. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your first beer with us. We truly appreciate it. Thank you. So I know you don't have social media for Mesh Mash, but when you do, we're going to punch it out there for you, man. We're going to be there to help you to grow and get bigger and get in some festivals. And I can't wait to interview you when you're at a festival. You're my first person I'm coming to whenever I have that. So, but if in the meantime, if you want to see the pictures of how you brewed your first beer, where can they find those?
Again, just on our personal social media, Facebook, Jason Mesher on Facebook or Zach Mesher. I know we posted some stuff on there. And a little bit of stuff on Instagram, Drama Dads J on Instagram. That's where you'll find us so far.
Awesome. Well, and congratulations on getting your first beer, and I can't wait for the second one.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. Adam, what's on tap and where can you find us?
As we mentioned at the top of the show, the Apple Cider Donut Brown Ale. Again, $5 for a 12-ounce bottle. We'll throw you some stickers in the bag. And then all the proceeds go to the 412 Food Rescue. Aside from that, we do have the Tortuga and Fuego on the Poblano Smoked Pale Ale. So it's a Poblano, it's a pepper beer, not spicy, just get the pepper flavor. And then it's pale ale smoked with cherry wood. Very good, coming in at 6.2%. And we have a little bit of that English dark mild that rocked the Bring Up a Cure Festival. Coming at just 3.9%, a nice sipper, and it's a good traditional English dark mild.
If you want to get the beer that placed third in a chili cook-off, you can follow Adam at @bash_brew on all social media.
After you ruined it with your shitty chili.
I did. Facebook, Instagram.
Way to hold on the legacy.
He's also on Untapped. If you want to go on the boys down here at Jojitorium, we're at DWTB on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on TikTok. Don't forget about our Gmail account, DWTB@gmail.com, and our Redbubble, where dad hats are always $19.52. You can always support us by supporting us on our YouTube, by following us, subscribing, and hitting that notification button. Does nothing for you, but everything for us. When I get 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and you could be a big part of that. So from wherever you are listening to this on a beautiful Sunday afternoon or a Monday morning like Jason here, until next time, cheers.
Come get some son of a brick on November 19th.
Woo! I'm standing over the bottling bucket with like a...
Shit.
Huh?
I don't know what that's called right now either.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The wire,
The thing that
it
filters
filters things. It's like a cone shape.
Looks like you're trying to hold an ass right now.
Yeah, but it's the round thing that you strainer.
Strain.
Oh,
I'm
okay. Wow, not what I thought you... It's the butthole. The butthole that you...